God morning. Let's begin. Deep breath. Exhale toxins. 70 to 80% of the toxins in the body are exhaled. On the out breath, exhale toxins. Taking a deep breath. Exhale, keep exhaling until all the stale air at the bottom of the lungs is expelled. Draw out another great big deep breath. And release. Draw in yet another big, delicious, power-inducing, energizing deep breath. And release with an ah. And another this time, clearing the mind. Becoming a wonderful power breather is critical on the spiritual path to clear the mind, right the nervous system, recalibrate the energetic body according to the perfect divine blueprint of love. And another. And now we open, source open, we open our minds. We open ourselves to being different, to radical instantaneous transformation into brand new beings. Honoring all the intelligences that have gathered here on this side of the veil and beyond. Giving honor to the ancestors, our sacred line to source. Ashe. And opening our eyes, we now give attention to a course in miracles, as we have been doing every day for 365 days. We're going for a record here. We're in a radical commitment. We're in a radical commitment. And this is day 169. Of Course in Miracles. By grace I live. By grace I am released. Yesterday, we spoke of grace, and we said that we were going to claim it. It's yesterday's lesson, your grace is given me, I claim it now. If you were not here with us yesterday, all good. This is recorded on 4 platforms for you. At the Valerie Love YouTube channel, you can get there by going to ValerieLoveTV.com. It's also on the Christian Witches YouTube channel. It is also on the Reverend Valerie Love Facebook fan page, and it is also on Clubhouse. We are in the Christian Witches Club on Clubhouse. We're a community of witches, wizards, warlocks, and magical beings who align and aspire to Christ consciousness. Christ is not a person, it's cosmic force. By grace I live, by grace I am released. Grace is an aspect of the love of God, which is most like the state prevailing in the unity of truth. Let's say that again. Now we start World Unity Week next week. It's a global event, a global happening. World Unity event starts on Monday, right after Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth in advance. Juneteenth is tomorrow. And on Monday starts World Unity Week. It is incredible that freedom and unity go together. So tomorrow we celebrate freedom. Monday we begin to celebrate unity. What is unity? Oneness. It's in the word uno. One. Unity of truth. Grace is an aspect of the love of God. If we want to understand exactly what grace is, what is grace? Because yesterday and forever throughout time, we have heard ourselves say, your grace is my sufficiency. What is grace specifically? Because we use it, we have it, we embrace it, yet we may not be supremely clear on what grace is. Grace is an aspect of the love of God, according to the definition the course is giving us. First of all, it's telling us that grace is an aspect of the love of God. So in order to experience grace, you would have to be somewhat in the love of God. And it said it is an aspect of the love of God, which is most like the state prevailing in the unity of truth. That when you live in the love of God and you walk in truth, there is a unity to the truth, because this is oneness, this is wholeness. And this unity of truth has a state to it. And that state is most like grace. It is the world's most lofty aspiration, for it leads beyond the world entirely. And that's why we said yesterday, and throughout many decades, as we've been here on this planet, and many people said it before us, your grace is my sufficiency. Grace is a ladder. It takes us beyond the world entirely. It is past learning. You can't learn grace. Yet the goal of learning, for grace cannot come until the mind prepares itself for true acceptance. Grace cannot touch us with its holy kiss until we prepare our minds to accept it. Ooh, and every day we're here preparing our minds. It took us 169 days to learn that we're about to be kissed by grace, or that we have been kissed by grace. Grace becomes inevitable instantly in those who have prepared a table where it can be gently laid and willingly received, an altar clean and holy for the gift. We call it an aididum. Please put it in the chat. An aididum. A-D-Y-T-U-M. An aididum. What is an aididum? An aididum is an inner sanctum, a sanctuary inside yourself. We could call it the cauldron of the heart. It's a cauldron inside. What's in the cauldron? Simply the oneness. So that's where you and God meet and are one and the same. The holy altar, symbolized by the temple that we have. We know the temple as Solomon's temple, and even the tabernacle in the wilderness. We know it as the tabernacle in the wilderness. It was actually a energy conductor from Kemet, also known as Egypt. There was the outer courtyard, there was the holy, and then there was the most holy. The most holy is inside you. So grace, this aspect of God's love that comes when we're in the unity of truth. Grace, it is inevitable when you have done something. What is it that you have done that causes grace to be inevitable? You had to do something. You had to tend your consciousness, clean up, let down the defenses of your heart, clean up old heartbreaks with what we call forgiveness. Forgiveness is just you tending the soil, yes, turning the soil. And then you set up an altar within that is the space where you and the universe meet and are one and the same. There is no duality in this space. And you've made this space holy and sacred. And no one and nothing can infringe on this space. You've made an altar clean and holy, and you are prepared for the gifts of spirit. And you go to this altar just like we tend altars in the third dimension. We change the water. We burn candles. I set up a new altar the other day. I burned 4 candles for the 4 archangels of the presence to come in and anchor in the space. We tend to altars on the planet, on the earth. We also tend to the inner altar, the Aididem. Grace is acceptance of the love of God within a world of seeming hate and fear. By grace alone, the hate and fear are gone. For grace presents a state so opposite to everything the world contains that those whose minds are lighted by the gift of grace cannot believe the world of fear is real. Whoo! I just swallowed a big chunk of truth right there. Wasn't it? Wasn't that just, that was just a big gulp of truth aid. Better than lemonade. Grace. That's why we say, your grace is my sufficiency. Because a grace is a big eraser to erase the hate and fear. First inside ourselves, and then we can't see it in the world. If you erase it in your own mind, you won't be able to see it. Because the early lessons in the course taught us that everything I see, I have given it all the meaning that it has for me. And it also taught us the meaning of perception. The meaning of perception is that first it's in my mind, and then I look for it so I can prove to myself that I'm right. So I see it in the world. First, it's in my mind. That's perception. Perception is always in the mind before we see it in the world. Grace is a state so opposite to everything the world contains that when your mind is lit up with the gift of grace, you will no longer see the world the same. You will have the vision of Christ. You will no longer go around believing that the fear is real, the hate is real. It's not real. Grace is not learned. Grace is not learned. The final step must go beyond all learning. You have taken 169 steps. Well, we're on step 169 of the ladder now. And you're here knowing that grace is kissing you. Grace is not the goal this course aspires to attain, yet we prepare for grace, and that an open mind can hear the call to awaken. You see, your mind and grace, they play together, because if the mind is entrapped, and what happened, what they did to me, oh, it's so terrible, oh, that hurts so much, why is the world so evil, oh, people are just always plotting against me. Victim, just believe in victims, perpetrators, attacks, defenses, sickness, death, all these things. We are seeing them because we have room to forgive, to give for just ho'oponopono yourself, and simply erase it with love, forgiveness, and gratitude, appreciation. Just erase it. And then as you erase it, your mind is clean and clear. And because of your meditative practices, you're meditating and you're meditating and you're meditating day and night and throughout the day, you're meditating. You are attuned to the still small voice. You receive answers to your questions almost instantaneously. You are shown the way to go. More importantly, you are shown what not to do, what could be a trap. Your mind opens when you clean it and clear it with forgiveness. It's open, it's free. And now that mind that is clear, that is calm from meditating, that is in touch with nature from your mystical practices, from your magical circles. And why do we do rituals for the fall equinox, the spring equinox, the fall, winter solstice, the spring equinox, the fall equinox, the summer solstice, winter solstice, the full moon, the new moon? Why do we do these rituals? Because we're attuning to the cycles of the universe. We're watching the moon. We're not watching the clock. Watch the clock when you need to do something, to be somewhere. We know the clock is not real. The moon has a cycle, and we honor this alignment and attunement. So your rituals are aligning you with nature, the cosmos. What is the cosmos? The body of God, Goddess. I mean, when you're aligned with the moon, you're aligned with a lot. You're aligned with the oceans. You're aligned with the body, the water inside your body. You're an ocean. You have an inner ocean that is answering the call to the moon, whether you want it to or not. Women have a womb that is answering to the call of the moon every single month. The womb and the moon are talking to each other, yet the head is off somewhere doing something else crazy, and we wonder why our lives are discombobbled, disheveled. How come we can't get these womb issues together? Because the mind is in the way of the conversation between the womb and the moon. It's a conversation they're having. Yet our minds are not in the conversation, not doing our rituals, not in our honoring of these cycles, not attuned to them, not listening to Mother Moon, drawing down the moon, understanding the moon. We prepare for grace in that an open mind can hear the call to waken. When we're in rituals, when we're in meditation, when we're in a drum circle, when we're in plant medicine, we can hear the call to waken. It is not shut tight against God's voice. The mind that is an open mind is not shut tight against God's voice. My mind was so loud and so unforgiving that it was shut tight against God's voice, and I didn't know it even as I was asking for God's voice, begging and pleading and crying and wondering why. Why, God, why? Help me, I need help. Yet my mind was still shut tight against God's voice. It has become aware that there are things it does not know, and thus is ready to accept a state completely different from experience with which it is familiarly at home. The mind that is an open mind, use your breath work to open your mind all the way. A mind that is open has become aware that there are things it does not know. A whole lot I do not know. It's aware of this, and it doesn't have a problem with it. The ego makes you feel stupid because you don't know something. Humility makes you feel open when you don't know something and ready to learn it. We have perhaps appeared to contradict our statement that the revelation of the Father and the Son as one has been already set. But we have also said the mind determines when that time will be and has determined it. Your mind determines when you will meet Mother, Father, God and stay there in the home of love. Now it's available to you at all times. Your mind has already determined it because your mind is in charge of determining that. And yet we urge you to bear witness to the word of God, to hasten the experience of truth and speed its advent into every mind that recognizes truth's effects on you. That if you're living that God life though, people will ask, wow, where are you now? Wow, you look amazing. Wow, you're aging backwards. Wow, what's up? This book is fabulous. Wow, Live that God life, though. That God life, though. That God life, though. I ask Spirit, please make my life a living, breathing demonstration of the God life. That when people recognize truth's effects on you, they will want to hurry and get there. Oneness is simply the idea God is. That's the idea God is, one. Amenhotep IV, also known as Akhenaten, he came to this realization. He had a realization. Supposedly, purportedly, the first human in existence to hold the idea that back of all of our gods, goddesses, nature, people, expressions of everything was a one. Now, how he came to that could have only been that God told him. This person said, hey guys, all these different energies is one thing behind all of it. And that was a radical idea. One? No, it's not one. In Hinduism, we have thousands of gods and they're all helpful. Where did they all come from? One source. One. Where we all came from. It's one, guys. It's not billions. It's one. Oneness is simply the idea God is. He called it the ACIM. Later on, Jewish people, or when they began to be Hebrew people before they were Jewish people, Hebrew people morphed it into Adonai. Atum, Adonai, same thing. Look it up, same thing. Adonai came from Egypt as the Atum. One. Oneness is simply the idea God is. God is an idea. And the idea God is oneness. And in his being, he encompasses all things. This universe, call it what you will, God, Jehovah, Allah, Brahma, Krishna, Buddha, Lord, Yahweh, the all, infinite intelligence, source, spirit, whole, all of us is one self. It's not a he, it's not a she. It's an it. It's an all. It is posted for the full moon the other day. We're about to post on the Christian Witches Instagram. We post all your prayers there, your ritual prayers there. Not all of them. We post a lot of them there. On the Christian Witches Instagram, we posted the prayer, and in the prayer, it addressed Wakan Tonka. One of our family members in the community said, what's Wakan Tonka? Wakan Tonka is the Lakota spirituality way of saying the one. And I love using all of these different words that we have for the one. Not just the words I grew up with, which is Jehovah, which is an iteration of Yahweh, which is iteration of the Tetragrammaton, YHWH. Without the vowels, we don't really know how it was pronounced. It wasn't pronounced for a very long time because people didn't like to say the word of God because they thought it was too sacred to utter in their own mouths. I say if you utter it, it'll make your mouth even more holy. Oneness is an idea that God is. And in his being, in the being of God, it encompasses all things. No mind holds anything but him. No mind holds anything but source. We say God is, and then we cease to speak. For in that knowledge, words are meaningless. God is. That's all we need to know. Source is. That's it. What else can go behind that? Because that's all this whole universe is. This whole universe is source. Or we could call it spirit, or we could call it consciousness, or we could call it love with a capital L, or we could call it life with a capital L. It doesn't matter what you call it. There's one big thing, consciousness. There are no lips to speak them, and no part of mind sufficiently distinct to feel that it is now aware of something not itself. It has united with its source, and like its source itself, it merely is. You merely are, just like your source. Tell yourself, I is, because I and the Father are one. Therefore, God is. You don't have to say anything else after God is. God is simply existence. We have been taught God is a person, God is a man, he's high in the sky, he wears long robes, he has a book, he does this, he does that. God ain't got none of that. God doesn't have a book. Humans read books. Humans know what books are. That's our own little invention, and we try to take this big thing that is beyond comprehension and scrunch it down to make it a little tiny human. It's called anthropomorphizing God. God is not a man. God is not a woman. God is. Ooh. Source. And I love using a source only because it just knocks out all my previous ideas about God, because the word God is a loaded word. I made a YouTube video about that years ago. Search my YouTube channel for the word God. Go to ValerieLoveTV.com and search your YouTube channel for the word God, and the videos will come up that I made. It's not God. No, I had that realization several years ago. Get that God you grew up with. If you grew up in a Christian experience, if you grew up in the United States, even if you never went to church, it's in the Kool-Aid here. This is a Christian country. Just like if you grew up in if you grew up in the Middle East, you would have grown up in an Arab world, even if you never went to a mosque. It's in the atmosphere. If you grew up in the United States, it's a deeply Christian country. The first people that came here, well, it says it's deeply Christian. The first, and some people really are, the first people that came here were called Puritans. They were just so pure and so holy roller. They were fanatical, killing people that they thought were witches and all kinds of craziness in the name of Jesus. We're burning you at the stake because we're in the love of God. Oh, okay, people. Crazed. Just, that's hate run amok. That's what it looks like. Hate and fear completely out of control has you burning 17, 18, 19 people in Salem that don't even have anything to do with witches. Maybe we're practicing, maybe we're not. Quite innocently, probably we're not. And the real witch that you wanted to get, you couldn't get Titcha, but she gone. This is fear and hate run rampant. So the first people that came here, deeply Christian. So if you got any of that, even if you didn't go to church, and many of us were in some kind of Christian something, a Christian school or a Christian church or something, you know that the way we got the story is God is, and they put a lot of information after God is. God is in the sky, in heavens. No, he's not. God's in you. God is a man. No, he's not. God is. God is a jealous God. No, he's not. God is love. God is the judger of your soul at the end and could see you downstairs. Nope, God never judged. So therefore, God never forgives. God doesn't have any reason to forgive because God never judged anyone. God is love. Or we could simply say God is. It's simply existence. Look all around. Everything you're seeing is God because everything lives in the body of God. You can't see something that ain't God. We cannot speak, nor write, nor even think of this at all. We can't even talk about it, what God is. It comes to every mind when total recognition that its will is God's has been completely given and received completely. We can't teach you that God is. This is something you have to find out on your own. We can't speak about it. We can't teach it. We can't even think about it. This is something that comes to your mind when you have the total recognition that your will and the will of Father, Mother, God are one and the same, and that you know right inside your being where you and the universe are one, and you have that revelation. You've received the gift. You understand the gift has been given you, and you've received it. It returns the mind into the endless present. Every time we are in this state of grace, we are in the endless present. We are in the eternal now. We are buzzing with life. We are not giving energy to sickness and death. We are not giving energy to hurt and pain, suffering and sin, guilt and lack, limitation. We're not doing any of that. We are lending none, zero of our mental energy, conscious and unconscious, to that which is not real, which are all of these fake things that would present to us to try to distract our minds from the truth. It lies beyond salvation, past all thought of time. Forgiveness in the holy face of Christ. We used forgiveness to climb this ladder. This is past forgiveness. The Son of God has merely disappeared into his Father. You have disappeared. I was having this experience the other day. I was just laying back and allowing myself to dissolve into the oneness. The Son of God has merely disappeared into his Father, and his Father has in him. The world has never been at all. Eternity remains a constant state. You're in a constant state of eternity. You've just merged into God, into our infinite source. Yes. Whew. This is beyond experience we try to hasten. Yet forgiveness, taught and learned, brings with it the experiences which bear witness that the time the mind itself determined to abandon all but this is now at hand. Forgiveness, which we can teach. We can't teach oneness with God. Can't teach that. You've got to go in there. That's why we have mystery schools, so you can go into the oneness. The at-one-ment, the atonement, that's the great work. So you can do the great work of melding completely with Mother, Father, God on all levels of being. Lots of people did it. Enoch did it. Elijah did it. Jesus did it. Moses did it. Lots of people did it. Of course, when we talk about the biblical ones, we are understanding and acknowledging that these biblical stories were oral for probably about 1,000 years, between 600 and 1,000 years before they were actually written down in the 6th century BCE. So we understand that this is a mythology. And when I say mythology, I do not mean a lie. I mean probably the most potent stories you will ever read. Yet remember that they are stories, not history, and please don't take them literally. And as we continue to search and do our archaeology, we understand that these stories were fictional in their presentation, yet truth in their core essence. That these things really did happen. Pardon me, probably just not at the time and with the people that we were given the story. The story does have kernel of truth at the core essence, just not exactly what we thought. So this is beyond everything that we can teach and learn. It brings with it the experiences that bear witness to the fact that your mind has determined the time that you will be at one with Source. We do not hasten it, and that what you will offer was concealed from him who teaches what forgiveness means. All learning was already in his mind, accomplished and complete. He recognized all that time holds and gave it to all minds, that each one might determine from a point where time was ended, when it is released to revelation and eternity. Your mind decided, your mind determined when you would release yourself into revelation and eternity. We have repeated several times before that you but make a journey that is done. You're doing it, yet it is your mind already determined when the sacred moment. Your mind already determined it when it was given that option, or when it was given that eventuality. We won't even call it an option because God is inevitable. Everyone's coming home eventually. For oneness must be here. Whatever time the mind has set for revelation is entirely irrelevant to what must be a constant state, forever as it always was, forever to remain as it is now. Whatever time the mind has set for revelation is irrelevant to the constant state. You see, whenever you come home to the reality and the revelation that you are one with your source forever and ever, always, and that you dwell in an eternal state of bliss and love and beauty and ecstasy, and that this eternal state is here now, and there is no tomorrow, and there was never a yesterday. And you know these things because you can't go get tomorrow and put it on the table right here and show it to us. And you've never been in tomorrow. There's always a tomorrow. So that should be a hint. Well, if there's always a tomorrow and there's always a yesterday, it must be always a now, where we merely take the part assigned long since and fully recognize as perfectly fulfilled by him who wrote salvation's script in his creator's name and in the name of his creator's son. We had a helper. We call the helper Christ and the Holy Spirit. We could call it Father, Mother, Child. It's exactly the same as we've had it throughout creation. All ancients recognized that there was a triune. There was 3 parts to it. Pardon me. And we took these 3 parts and we named them Father, Mother, God, Father, Mother, Child, or Offspring, or Holy Spirit. Right? That's what we did. We took them and we named them. We named all 3 of them. We understand that in the ancients world, we had Asur, Aset, and Heru, also known as Isis, Osiris, and Horus. Their later Greek names. And what we know is that the 3 were intertwined. You couldn't have one without the other. All 3 were together. And what we are understanding is that we have the same thing going on now. We have Father God, Mother's Holy Spirit, Son, Christ's presence. Heru, Horus, Christ, same energy. We must recognize the continuity of spiritual revelation throughout the ages, and don't try to have all the spiritual revelations yourself. People already had spiritual revelations. You can use theirs. They're sharing their spiritual revelations with us. We merely take the part assigned long since and fully recognize as perfectly fulfilled by him who wrote salvation's script in his creator's name, in the name of his creator's son. There is no need to further clarify what no one in the world can understand, because this can't be learned or taught. When revelation of your oneness comes, it will be known and fully understood. No one can teach it to you. You get it yourself from inside yourself, from source. Now we have work to do. For those in time can speak of things beyond and listen to words which explain what is to come is past already. Yet what meaning can the words convey to those who count the hours still and rise and work and go to sleep by them? If you're still counting hours, you're going to have a very hard time being eternal. Counting hours. Oh, I gotta wake up at this time. I gotta go to sleep at this time. I gotta go to this time. I gotta go to this time. This is one of the reasons we read the Galactic Signature every day. Why do we read the Galactic Signature every day? To exit artificial time and come home to natural time. What is natural time? Natural time is the order of the cosmos. To come out of the obsession with time. What time is it? I don't know. We're having dinner. Why do you need to know the time? I don't know. What time is it? Who cares? What does it matter? Unless there's something you must go do. The only time that we need to know the time is when you're going to go and do something at a specific time. That means you are creating a synchronicity. We're creating a synchronicity every morning by saying that we're going to be here at 7 a.m. You don't need to watch your clock at 4, at 12, or probably most of the time throughout the day, you don't have to watch your clock. Yet we have an obsession with time. We're counting the hours, the Course says. and rise and work and go to sleep by the hours. Oh, I'm going to be late. Oh, I used to be so caught up in time. Time is a taskmaster, it's a slave driver. Time. It was so important to me. And then I was still always late. Time. We had a very adversarial relationship. Why? Because it wasn't real and your soul knows it. It's all made up. All the changing we do of the clocks, the little dance we do every fall and summer, fall ahead and then fall back, spring ahead, fall back. All these changing, I was watching Neil deGrasse Tyson the other day, and he said something fabulous. He said, well, it was very thought-provoking. He said, if the lines of latitude are time zones, and all these lines meet at the North and South Pole, what time is it at the South Pole? That's a good question. I have no clue. Because each line of latitude is giving you a different time, isn't it? According to how we want to run things on this planet. It's sometime in California, it's sometime in New York, it's some other time in London, it's some other time in Kenya, it's some other time in China. India is another time. Well, what happens when you go to the South Pole where all the lines meet? If everybody is at the South Pole, are we all at the same time? I would imagine so. So all these things are showing us that time is a construct. Yet, we're going to have a problem with the meaning that these words can convey. The people who still count the hours so religiously are going to have a challenge understanding timelessness and letting the revelation of eternity dawn in your mind. That's the mind that's shut tight against God. That's another way we just shut our mind tight against God because we're so hooked into the clock. Stop counting all the hours. Relax. You've never been late. You can never be early. It's an eternal now. Synchronicity, and something amazing is going to happen when you do this. You're always going to find that you're at the right place at the right time with the right people. You're not ever going to be late ever again. You're always going to be everywhere you are required to be at the perfect time, with the perfect people for the perfect outcomes. It's going to be amazing. You know this. You've already experienced it, or you're experiencing it. You know this. Suffice it then that you have work to do to play your part. That's what we're doing. When we say do the work, that means you have work to do to play your part in this whole unfoldment. The ending must remain obscure to you until your part is done. You can't see the end because you didn't do the work. Right? That's why I'm doing my work every day with you. We're doing our work together. It's more fun when you have a whole, bunch of people and we're doing our work together. No one can do your work for you. That's one of the big reasons in Ascension, we run Ascension the way we run Ascension, our membership. Why do we, in the mystery school, why do we run Ascension the way we run it? For everyone to grow up and do your own work. No one gives you anything. You go fish and you get it. And we're all doing it together. You go get it yourself. Initiative. You get up and you go get it. You have work to do. Do your work. Now, we're here with you as you do your work. We will encourage you. We will provide some rails for you to do your work. You do the work. You are powering the engine. You're the captain of your train. And we know everywhere else, they told you what to do and what to think. You went to church, they told you what to think. Here's the prayer you say. Here's the holidays. It's Easter, it's Christmas, it's this. And before Easter comes, this is what we do. We do Lent, and then we do, 40 days. And then on Good Friday, you say this prayer. And this is what you eat on Good Friday, eat fish. And then on Easter Sunday, this is what we do. And then every Sunday we come here, and the first you pray. And then the pastor tells you what to think. And then at the end, you give some money. And then at the end, you get a blessing. And then you go home. Or maybe first you stop in the fellowship hall
And if you're in a black church, probably going to go down to the fellowship hall and get you some fried chicken. Okay? Or whatever they got cooking up in there. All right, you're going to be in the fellowship hall. Or if you're at some churches, they're going to have a nice little meal. The fellowship hall is lovely. I remember we were going to a Methodist church when we were out on the Eastern Shore, because I just love churches. I just love all the things people do in there. And I tell you, they used to have just this wonderful spread and it was beautiful because church was only an hour. And if you go to black churches, you know you're going to be in there. You might as well just write off half the day. You're going to be in there for hours. And if you're in Africa, oh, forget about it. You don't have no life. You're going to be in church from can't see in the morning to can't see at night. That's all. Or you're going to be in there all night anyway. So anyway, the whole idea is that you have work to do. And when you were in the church, they told you everything to do every step of the way, from the words to say, to the things to do, to the time to do them, to what we do and what we don't do. You had a long list of rules. Now you come into spirituality and no one gives you any rules. And now you must flex the muscle of becoming the one who is the initiator, who's doing the work. It's a huge shift. In school, they told you everything to do in every minute when to do it. This is what time you come in. This is what time you go to this class. This is what time you go to this class. When you go to this class, we use this book. When you go to this class, we use this book with this person. At this time, you go to lunch. And you do. They told you that from kindergarten to graduating college. You probably were in that for 20-something years. They told you every move to make every second. Let's breathe and drop it. I know it's a lot to drop because these things are so embedded in us. And I say, until you drop them, use them for your benefit. Get up every Sunday if you're going to church and do your rituals every Sunday. You were told what to think, what to believe, who to do it with. Your rules were endless. And now you come to spirituality. And what is your work? To clear your mind of all of it. Do your work to play your part. The ending must remain obscure to you until your part is done. It does not matter, for your part is still what all the rest depends on. As you take the role assigned to you, salvation comes a little nearer each uncertain heart that does not be as yet in tune with God. Please do your work. That's your part. There is something you came here to do. And your part, all of us are depending on it. All of us are depending on LaToya's class for herbalism. All of us are depending on the Lester's teaching about getting off the sofa and experiencing the transformation by killing the 7 travel demons. All of us are dependent upon the work Queen Vashti is doing on the planet. All of us are dependent upon Coach Michelle's coaching. All of it. It says, your part is still what all the rest depends on. Now, when you choose to get up and wake up and do it, all good. Your part is essential. And as you take the role assigned to you, as you say, yep, I'm going to stand up and do it. That's why all spiritual community will not tell you what to think. It will invite what is already in you forward. That's all spiritual community does. That's all mystery schools do. We don't put something inside you. We draw forward what is in you. Source, divinity. And when you take the role assigned to you, salvation comes a little nearer each uncertain heart. There are so many uncertain people on the planet, and your certainty helps them come a little nearer to their heart beating in tune with God. The cosmic heartbeat, the sun, the moon, the winter solstice, the spring equinox, We have markers to let us know if we're in beat, if our heart is in beat with the heartbeat of God. Forgiveness is the central theme that runs throughout salvation, holding all its parts in meaningful relationships. The course it runs directed and its outcome sure. And now we ask for grace. First forgiveness, then grace. The final gift salvation can bestow. It's a gift after forgiveness. Or you'll experience forgiveness and some grace in this aspect of your life. Forgiveness and grace. Experience that grace provides will end in time. For grace foreshadows heaven. Grace is right there before you get to heaven, yet does not replace the thought of time, but for a little while. See, in heaven, you don't have any thoughts of time at all. Grace foreshadows heaven. The interval suffices. It is here that miracles are laid in a state of grace, just before heaven, to be returned by you from holy instance you receive through grace in your experience. To all who see the light that lingers in your face, you cannot have been touched by this grace and not share it. What is it will make you jump up and run. It will make you share it. What is the face of Christ but his who went a moment into timelessness and brought a clear reflection of the unity he felt an instant back to bless the world? That's all Christ does, goes into the timeless void. The all. And then returns into your life and walks around, and everyone that sees you, they're getting touched by the timelessness. They're getting touched by the light and the love that you were in when you were in there. You were in meditation. You were in there. You saw the face of Christ. How could you finally attain to it forever while a part of you remains outside, unknowing, unawakened, and in need of you as witness to the truth? If we're all one and you're beholding the face of Christ, and it's magnificent, yet other people are not, how can you leave a part of yourself outside, not beholding the face of Christ? I can't do that. No one can enter heaven alone. Because you get to heaven's gate, woohoo, I made it. St. Peter looks at you and says, where's your sisters and your brothers? Well, I don't know. They're doing it. They're on a Course in Miracles with Taisi. Go get them. And you know that ex-lover that you really still got, go get him, go get her, go get them. Go get them. And come arm in arm to heaven's gate. Go get them. No one can enter heaven alone. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. That's why I'm motivated AF to help everybody get up, because we can't all get up until everybody gets up. You can keep going as high as you want. You can be the mind of Christ. You can be one with Source. And what will happen? Buddha sat by the Bodhi, and he enlightened. And once he enlightened, he said there was only one question. Do I just go up right now? Or do I help? He thought of all his friends and family that was still in suffering. And he knew he could help them. And so he stayed for 40 years. Notice that 40 number recurring. 40 years he stayed. Pause for power. Thank you. A device was begging for power. And the thing it was plugged into was not giving it power. Okay, hold on.
We have plenty of power, so let's do this. Thank you for your patience and love. "40 years, the Buddha remained to do what? Exactly what this paragraph says. That paragraph 12 says, yes, paragraph 13 says, the last sentence, sentence 4, paragraph 13. How could you finally attain to it forever? How can you attain to the face of Christ forever? How can you be in timelessness forever? How can you be the enlightened one forever? While a part of you, brothers and sisters, brothers and others, remains outside, unknowing, unawakened, and in need of you as witness to the truth. How could you still, you can't stay in eternity forever when you, a part of you, is still unawakened and in need of you as witness to the truth. You will feel throughout the course that, well, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for myself and I'm responsible for my brothers and my sisters, brothers and others. I'm responsible. Not, oh Lord, I got the whole weight of the world on my shoulders. No. It's not saying that. It's saying that if you choose to change your mind, what is automatically happening is as other minds are changing, as you do the work, you do the work. Other minds, because we're all connected, other minds are touched and are experiencing it through you. Be grateful to return, as you were glad to go an instant and accept the gifts that grace provided you. You carry them back to yourself. When you're in the face of Christ, you're in meditation, you're in the infinite oneness of all, and you're beholding the face of Christ, and you have that shine. You're like Moses who went up to the mountain, he was coming back down, he was shining. And you bring the gifts back, you're bringing the gifts back to yourself. Giving and receiving are one. And revelation stands not far behind. Its coming is ensured. Everyone's going to have the revelation of grace. We ask for grace and for experience that comes from grace. We ask for grace and we ask for the experience that comes of grace. We do not ask for the unaskable. We do not look beyond what grace can give. For this we can give in the grace that has been given us. How do you receive it? You give what you received. Every day. Here's how you're going to be in grace, family. Every day. That's why every day I come here, I press that little share button to share with someone. Every day. Press that little share button and give it to someone every day. Pull someone up and say, hey, I remember you were talking to me about that problem the other day. Yeah, I learned something today that could be of help for that. How about what is that helpful for you? Is it okay if I share something with you that could be helpful to that thing that you were talking to me about the other day? If they were talking to you about it the other day, they already have been asking you permission. And they've given you permission to please help me. They didn't know that they were asking you for permission, yet they know that you are on a course of miracles because something is telling them that you are the light. You are the light. You are the light of the world. It is your job to light up your mind that lights up the world. It's your job. We welcome the release it offers everyone. This is a release offered to everyone. Our learning goal today does not exceed this prayer. Here we have a prayer. And I've said this prayer, I don't know how many times, so many times. I love this prayer. It's so simple. Yet in the world, what could be more than what we ask this day of him who gives the grace we ask as it was given him? Here's the prayer. By grace I live, by grace I am released. By grace I give, by grace I will release. Say it with us. By grace I live, by grace I am released. By grace I give, by grace I will release. A third time. By grace I live, by grace I am released. By grace I give, by grace I will release. Giving and receiving are one and the same. That is, of course, Miracles Lesson 169. The floor is open. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What a powerful lesson today. It just had me going back to a time maybe a few years ago when I came into the knowing of my grace, the gift of grace that was covering me. And I would just share it with everyone because it was just on my, just grace was like on the tip of my tongue at all times. When you come into that oneness, when you come into that knowing, it isn't anything that you can learn. It isn't anything that anyone can teach you. As you stated earlier, you just have this knowing, and it gives you, it just gives you this sense that all is right, all is well. Everything is as it should be in this very moment. Like, I think that's the greatest gift, to know, to have that, to receive that knowing, or to be in alignment with the knowing that you are covered by grace, that grace is with you, that this is the love of God, the one, the all, just spread all over you. What's going through my mind right now is just like sprinkles from heaven. Just, you're covered in grace, just sprinkles coming down, So it makes me so happy just to have that knowing, and to know that God's will for me is perfect happiness. And to be in that knowing, it's like every now moment, just living in the now moment, I'm covered by grace, and there is no need to worry. There is no need for concern. You mentioned earlier, when you were speaking about time, it's always work, because when, sometimes I may be running a little bit behind time, and then instantaneously I'm like, which is never late. What am I talking about here? Never. Which is never late. Never. I'm right on time. Which is never late. That's why we do those practices, those spiritual practices and those rituals, so we can be in divine alignment with our cosmic weather and, the Galactic Signature, so we can be in alignment with natural time, not the made up situation that we have to deal with at times. I was just, so many things were, in this lesson today. And I love when you talked about, the one, and how, I believe it was Akhenaten had came into the knowing that they're all, just I have friends at my place that I go during the day, and these are church guys. They grew up in church, and so this one guy, he's so wonderful, and I told him his galactic signature. So he's like white planetary wizard or something, but he doesn't want to accept it. But he's so funny because he can make anything into a sermon. And he gets off, we're just playing around or whatever, and he makes anything, any subject, he can make it into a sermon, and he gets to going and going. And when he gets off track, he always says, back to the one.
Ooh.
He always says that. And when you said, when we were talking, the message this morning, and you were speaking about the one, it made me think of Tim, because he always says, oh, back to the one.
Ooh.
And I just love it, and it's gonna mean so much more to me now. Back to the one. He's really saying back to the beginning. I'm not really into a whole bunch of church lingo or the way, they do things at church. Although I grew up in church as a child, I stopped going to church when it was my decision. I didn't have to go. So he's just so funny. And like I say, like you were saying, and like we always say in this community, that when you're in divine alignment, you're always right where you're supposed to be.
Always.
And I'm just so happy right now. I was doing some studying this week because, you and I have some things that we're going to work on. And as I was going through my studies, I just had this revelation that I've always been right where I'm supposed to be, because all the little bits and pieces that were being revealed to me throughout the years, I found that they're all connected. Like I was always right on the path.
Yes.
It seemed like there were separate segments, but they weren't separate segments.
That's right.
They were all one.
Come on.
I just hadn't put the pieces together yet. They hadn't been revealed to me yet because I wasn't ready to see the connection. But as my eyes are opened and the revealing is being shown, I can see that all of it is connected and all of it is a part of the one. It's just so wonderful. And I'm complete for now, because I can just go on and on. I feel so much joy in my heart right now. So I'm going to yield the mic at this moment, and I may come back later.
Yummy. You can't be where you're not supposed to be. You're right. And as you go deeper on the spiritual path, you start to glimpse. You get a glimpse and then a clear vision of the gears of the universe, that everything is interconnected, and you start to, as Queen Vashi said, put the puzzle pieces together, and you start to see, oh, my whole life is a beautiful tapestry. Even when it looked like I was off, I wasn't off. You can't be off. It's all part of the divine tapestry. And then you get to understand in a very visceral way that this I am is all there is, and that I'm always in I am, even when I'm off acting goofy, even when I'm being a little negged out, negative, even when I'm telling myself a big story, I'm still in the I am. It's delicious. On the screen, isn't it delicious?
Yes, it's so delicious. Even when I'm off in the bushes, when I feel like I'm off track, or not quite in alignment, I call that off in the bushes. When I'm off in the bushes doing who knows what, it's still a part of the grand design. Because you still learn, you're still learning while you're off in the bushes. And then you learn and you realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm not in alignment, I'm off in the bushes. So it's just beautiful. I just, I'm just off. Look, I'm in the ethers right now. I'm just out there right now, feeling good.
I know that's right. Family, World Unity Week starts today. It is the 18th to the 25th. It's on the screen right now on YouTube, on both YouTube channels, and on the Reverend Valerie Love Facebook fan page. Please, family, promise me that you will go and you will put a like, or you'll put some love, or you'll burn a candle, or you'll do a prayer, or you'll do all the magic that you do. Please focus some of it. Give World Unity Week some love. World Unity Week is a global event happening June 18th to June 25th. I have the honor of speaking at World Unity Week on June 23rd. And if you look at some of the speakers that we have for World Unity Week, these are speakers coming from all over the world coming together. As you can see, we have a sheik here, we have indigenous tribes here, we have Neil Donald Walsh, we have Sister Jenna, we have so many incredible beings up from all over the world coming together for World Unity Week. World Unity Week is an ecosystem of multiple spaces called convergence rooms that each follow a particular theme, such as peace building, partnering with nature, intentional community living, integral cities and eco-regions, community-led eco-centered governance, trauma healing, awakening consciousness, and many more. I'll be speaking on the which with regard to World Unity Week. Now let's go to the schedule. I do want to show you the schedule for World Unity Week. It starts today. It actually starts today, World Unity Week. Now, you can go on the on the Facebook, not the YouTube. You can go to the Facebook page for World Unity Week, and you will see this schedule. Here's the schedule for June 18th. Let's go to June 23rd, and I'll show you when I'm speaking. Thursday, June 23rd, you will see that there's a session here at 7 p.m., a plenary session here at 7 p.m. I'm telling you exactly when it is. Let's go. We are speaking on the 23rd. The 23rd is Climate Day, and we're going to be speaking at 7 p.m. You see here the title of I'm speaking right after Neil Donald Walsh, Steve Farrell, and Timothy No, I hope I'm saying Timothy's last name correctly. So plenary session at 6 p.m. is going to be Humanities Team, Global Spiritual Climate. So some people are talking about climate change, they're talking about spiritual climate. That's at 6 p.m. At 7 p.m., Modern Day Mysticism and the Path to Peace, featuring Reverend Ariel Patricia, Dr. Julie Kroll, Tricia McKinnon, Marilyn Aloria, Ash Ruiz, Reverend Valerie Love, Don Oscar Myro Caseta, and Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes. I hope I'm saying all the names correctly. Those are all my fellow speakers during that session. Modern Day Mysticism and the Path to Peace. Please support World Unity Week. Come to the sessions, mark out all the sessions that you want to come to. You can see all of these sessions going on. They're all free. Can you imagine? It's free. It's being streamed on Facebook. Can you imagine? It's being streamed on Facebook, the whole World Unity Week. And I'm honored to be a speaker at World Unity Week. And this is a full circle moment for me, because to say that the session that I'm on follows the session that Neil Donald Walsh is on is just blowing my mind right now. So pardon me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Just blowing my mind right now.
You said that, and we always
blowing my mind.
Not to take anything from anyone else, but you know, he's one of the masters that helped me on my path here. So that's so wonderful.
Look where spirit will take you. Look where spirit will take you if you just say yes. I didn't even know about it. I was invited. I didn't know about it. I couldn't have even called and asked them, hey, can I be a speaker or world? Do you understand that eye has not seen, ear has not heard what God has for you, that you don't even know where God is taking you? So how do you think you can drive the train? How do I think I can drive the bus? Or even drive my own car? How do I think I can drive it when I don't even know where I'm going? God put me there, not me. Oh, when are we going to get this? Oh, it's so delicious. Do you know how I read Conversations with God? I devoured it. I carried it around with me. It answered so many questions. I couldn't believe that someone had tapped so deeply into the mind of God. Neil Donald Walsh. And then I went to Agape and I saw Neil Donald Walsh on stage. And now I get to speak at the same event following Neil Donald Walsh. What? Go ahead, God, Goddess, I am. That's all God. Woo, 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 woo. Go, God.
Simply amazing. Someone had their hand raised earlier during the lesson. We're not bringing anyone to the stage during the lesson, though. So if you come back to the stage, we'll have you. We'll bring you right up.
Hey, no more Rainbow came into the room, so you know I'm going to ask you to come on stage. You want to? Rainbow!
There he is.
How you loving Rainbow? Rainbow, I'm speaking at World Unity Week. World Unity Week starts today. And on the YouTube channel, I brought up the screen, and I'm speaking at this session right after Neil Donald Walsh and his crew. Then comes on our crew. I am so elated. Welcome. How you loving?
Namaste, guys. I've literally just shoved the bloody biscuit in my mouth.
I was getting ready to say, what you eating, and did you bring some for all of us?
Of course I did. I'll share them through the frequency. And grace is amazingly amazing.
Oh.
For me, when we're flowing in our own soul, literally, we're flowing in grace. That's God to me. Or Allah, or Shiva, a dog or a frog. It's all the beauty and purity of source energy. And I'll check it out in your YouTube if I can find it. I'm not very good at technology.
Yes, I left the link for you in the. Did the link work? Did I give you the link in our private message or no? If I didn't, I will do that today. Because I know you asked me about the YouTube channel.
Oh, you did. I just checked it. Thank you. It was just, you were telling me how much you loved me and everything, and that kind of melted me away that day.
You know how much I love you. I love it. Today is World Unity Week starts, Rainbow, all over the world, World Unity Week. And the website for World Unity Week is called worldunityweek.org. That's what it, maybe one of the mods can pin it to the top of the room. worldunityweek.org. And please go and spread it on Facebook. It's a Facebook event too. It's streaming onto Facebook. And I am speaking on Thursday at World Unity Week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the session we'll be in. We're talking about mysticism for the modern day. And I will be speaking about the witch in the path to peace and unity, and how reclaiming the witch is part of our unity for our entire consciousness. So the witch will be speaking on World Unity Week. How you like that a witch is on World Unity Week? I'm amazed that the witch is an archetype. I'm so thankful. Harmony, are you able to speak? I don't know if you can. Anyone else? Raise your hand. Come up here. Hop up here. What's going on with you? Y'all are quiet. What's happening?
Well, I could jump in if you like. I was just sharing the room, actually. Unity Week. If you check out the Black Elk's vision, they sing about the unity ring being restored in this now golden time. That's the 7 chakras up the spine. And it's the time for everybody to unify within. I believe that's the golden rainbow within, basically. And it's time to just let go of the old woes and get into your soul's flow. It's going to be a fair old party, I can see, in terms of the synchronistic tapestry.
Delicious. Can you imagine world unity? We can all imagine it. The whole world coming together. World unity. Isn't that beautiful? The world. And we are speakers and sharers and participants from all over the world. I love it.
Okay, so now the link is at the top of the room. I managed to pull it off. So it's there, the World Unity Week 2022 Coming Home Together is pinned at the top of the page, at the top of the room.
Woohoo! And everyone in the room, would you give some love to World Unity Week and support incredible World Unity Week, all the incredible speakers, and everyone that's on World Unity Week?
It's amazingly amazing. I see Vandashiva is at the top of the list. She's amazingly amazing these days in terms of how she's getting folk into the right vibration. But I just checked out the link there to try and register it, and it's not working for me, by the way.
Oh, okay. If the link at the top of the room is not working for you? Or it worked for you?
No, but I'm crap on apps, so it might be me.
Okay, family.
Oh, well, let me check it.
Yeah, someone in the room tap the link and let us know if the link at the top of the room is working for World Unity Week. And if you go to World Unity Week and you go to the one.stream, you can watch World Unity Week there as well. The one.stream, you can watch it. Okay?
The link does work at the top of the room.
Oh, thank you, Coach Michelle. Okay, excellent. So Rainbow, you may already be dwelling in the oneness and the unity that you don't need World Unity Week. That's why the link wasn't working for you, because you're already in the oneness and the unity. So now with World Unity Week, if you go, I believe it has the Facebook experience on there too, where you can go and watch it on Facebook, I believe. So let me show you where it is on Facebook. And then that way you can go to World Unity Week on Facebook. I believe you can get it on Facebook as well. And if you go and attend the event on Facebook, then that means that you're going to receive the notifications on Facebook to remind you of the schedules so that you can be there for the days that you want to be there. 8 daily themes of World Unity Week. Day 1 is Peace Through Unity. Day 2 is Day of Earth. Day 3 is Day of Water. Day 4 is Day of Fire. Day 5 is Day of Air. So we're starting with the 4 elements. Day 6 is Climate Day. Day 7 is that's the day I'm speaking on, day 6. Day 7 is Biodiversity Day. Day 8 is Web of Life. 99 days through peace through unity, follows World Unity Week. So World Unity Week will continue for 99 days of peace through unity, all the way up to September 24th. Okay, so we're going to be in 99 days of absolute unity, starting today. Starting today, do not fuss with people. Don't argue with anyone. Be in complete oneness, harmony, unity. Do not bring up your separation and your defenses and your I'm right and they're wrong. Don't bring up your hate of other people. We are in a sacred time starting today. Today starts this sacred time. Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if we ended a war and ended a lot of horrors on the planet this week.
Of course, this is what the unity ring is all about, being returned in the golden time, the burning rainbow with it. And a wee tip from me, everybody imagine your inner child. Imagine yourself about 4 years old, and then just make yourself a promise to your own inner child that you'll no longer allow your thinking mind to hold you back from the golden moments of time that are going to be better than whiskey or wine as everything unfolds from the divine.
Ashe. I think I made that pact with my inner child. I think I made that pact. 6,261 people like this, including 4 of your friends. 8,623 people follow this. Let's get that up to over 10,000. Then over 100,000. World Unity Week. We're looking at it now on Facebook, on the YouTube channel. We're looking at it on Facebook. World Unity Week. Oh my goodness, look at this. I love this video. World Unity Week. Oh my goodness. They're having an annual festival. Look at Sadhguru. World Unity Week. We love it. Oh, I have the God bumps. I have the God bumps. So come on, World Unity Week. Come on. Starting today. World Unity Week. There it is on Facebook so that you can sign up and then you can get the notifications. We're going to go to the Galactic Signature, if everyone desires. Sounds good?
Definitely. I'll tell you what, see, today, your frequencies, they're going higher than a church spire. And it's just about having fun under the cousins, Luna and the sun. Those lunar frequencies were amazingly amazing to everybody, regardless of whether you can see like me, in terms of the synchronistic tapestry. We're all being awoken in the now golden age. It's going to be amazingly amazing.
It is amazingly amazing, isn't it? And you know, everything feels like it's coming together because tomorrow is Juneteenth. And Juneteenth is a new holiday in America. It was a holiday for a very long time for Black people. And what is Juneteenth? Juneteenth is, well, we grew up hearing the story of Juneteenth. And Juneteenth is a story that there were slaves who did not know for 2 years in the South that slavery had been outlawed. And they were still being held as slaves and still being captive. And they went around and they declared that you're free. And that happened on June 19th, probably about 200 years ago. And we call it Juneteenth. It's a celebration of freedom. And it's not a celebration of freedom just for Black people. It's a celebration of freedom because I take all celebrations and all festivals of all people for myself. I actually do. And where people are celebrating freedom, that's a universal idea. So that's just one story from my clan or my tribe about freedom and about how we attained greater freedom and how freedom is the highest aspiration of the soul. And that's what Juneteenth is about. So tomorrow we celebrate freedom. And that's perfect that Juneteenth fell right here on the second day of World Unity Week. So I love that. We're celebrating unity and freedom. It's not just about Black people. Juneteenth is not just about Black people. So tomorrow when you see the black, green, and red all over the place, and you see celebration all over the place, and you see a Black, Instagram post with nothing else, you'll know what it means. It means Juneteenth. And as you see that, then you, whatever color you are, join in the celebration. Join in the celebration of freedom from all kinds of slavery, not just physical slavery, mental slavery, emotional slavery. I say all the time on the channel that I'm here for freedom spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially.
Yes, I just wanted. Oh, tomorrow's also Father's Day, so we're gonna make sure that we celebrate our divine masculine and the fathers on the planet. I just wanted to say thank you to our spiritual leader in this community. Thank you, Kaisi, Coach, Rev, whatever everybody calls you. I want to say thank you for leading the charge and saying yes, because you're leading the way to many of us who did not know where we were in this whole grand scheme of things. And just finding you on YouTube or however everyone came across you in your path, you're leading the way. You've helped us, and now the witches are sitting at the table with the shamans and the other leaders of this spiritual community, this worldwide spiritual community, and we're being accepted, not as something that Hollywood has tried to make us into. We're not that. We're here as a part of the grand plan of the great architect. We have a place here also. And you said yes. And not only did you just say yes, you stood up, you said the words, no matter how afraid you were, even if the pee was running down your leg, you said yes anyway. And you went worldwide with it. You didn't just stay in your little corner and say yes, and I'm gonna write a few books. And you got up. You're traveling around the world. You have a huge community on Facebook, a huge community on YouTube, on Instagram, and now here we are on Clubhouse. And if it weren't for you, a lot of us still wouldn't know where we stand or where we're supposed to be in this great community that we call the universe. And I just want to say thank you publicly here. And this was something that just came on my heart right here, right now. It was not planned at all. And it just makes my heart so grateful, because you stood up. You did it. And now we know that we can do it. And I'm so grateful for you. And I thank you. And I believe Mama Nika, you want to share, Rainbow? Go ahead.
No, I just want to say exactly what Lady said. She made me glow in a beautiful way. I agree with every single frequency, tone, and what you said.
Oh. Well, y'all got me crying this morning.
Mama Nika, did you want to share? I see you just came on up.
I did. Well, I was going to wait until I had a little bit more put in my book, my NFT book, I think. One of on the Sigil, S-I-G-E-L, that you told us about in our extension class. So I've started like a blog. I've started that. But I wanted to thank you as well, Kaisi, because I believe you are my hidden helper. I believe you're a white wizard.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you're my hidden helper, and everything about the White Wizard is you. You push and you love, and I know that, and I feel that. I've never felt this intense about my spirituality and wanting to like go all in. Like I'm going all in. I'm meditating more every day. I'm reading more every day. I'm learning more. I'm loving more. I'm able to catch myself quicker. So I want to wholeheartedly thank you for. I even wrote a song.
Wow.
I even wrote a song. I'm gonna finish it and I'm gonna let you listen to it. But I came across this lady named Kaisi on YouTube, and I'm so happy that I came across your video because I was doing research on the Jehovah's Witness, and you popped up your story about the Jehovah's Witness, and it was the same for me. And I even have a more personal experience, like with the issues that Jehovah's Witnesses have. So again, I want to thank you, and to the community that's here every day. Now is the time. Now is the time. There's no reason to hold back. Do what feels good. And just like Rainbow said, have fun. Be in the moment. Don't worry about yesterday or tomorrow. Just be in the moment and love. And this is the Unity, World Unity Week. What a better week, time to love more.
Yes. And
another thing with my Galactic Signature, you had us decode ourselves. And we do the Galactic Signature every day. And I am fervently, passionately incorporating my Galactic Signature in my life. Different aspects of it. And I want you to see the growth. I want everybody to see the growth. And in myself as well. And I want to be an example. And I'm complete.
I thought you were going to sing a song. You can't go wrong with a song, Faye.
There's plenty of them, but maybe later.
Oh my goodness.
I think you're just, well, I don't think, I know you're magical, Kaisi. You're an oracle to me. And the way that you've brought so many souls to the table is just, I'm in awe of thee. And you're absolutely right what you say about the slave. Doesn't matter what colour you are. There's a lot more than blue and red inside everybody. A burning rainbow, you see. The premise of the rainbow. The 7 chakras up the spine. We're getting reconnected to the divine, and I'm humbled to be in your presence today.
The namaste. The namaste. The namaste is I see God in you, as you. The God in me rises up and salutes and honors the God in you, the God as you. Wow, y'all got me crying today. I didn't know I was going to need my tissues. So good thing I didn't wear makeup today, because otherwise it would have been running down my face. So thank you for that. I'm compelled by a compulsion beyond a human compulsion. I'm not human powered. I'm not human powered. I'm God powered. And there is a big mission on this planet I came here to fulfill, as did you. There's a big mission on this planet you came here to fulfill. And all it takes is all of you. That's all it takes. All of you. Your whole yes. Say yes and don't turn back. Just say, yes, universe. You got me. Take me. Just give all of you. That's all it takes. And watch what happens. I had a vision a long time ago that Spirit showed me. Spirit showed me a huge table. It was like one of those great tables in a great hall from end to end. And around the table sat all the spiritual paths, all the religions, like a representative, not the leader, not the boss of them, simply someone who represented, who came from that path. And there you saw a person from the Catholic Church, you saw a person from Methodist, you saw a person from the Jehovah's Witnesses, you saw a person from, a Hermeticist, you saw people from that were maybe practicing magical arts, you saw the shaman, you saw everyone, and I was there representing the witch. I saw that vision, that you could have a witch sitting next to a Methodist. I saw that vision. And I said, wow. There was a Buddhist and a witch and a Methodist, and we were all sitting together at the table. And here we have it. Here it is in its first iteration and growing. What a ride.
I remember talking to you this week, just past last weekend, and I was telling you that my friend was watching some things on TV about the Great Pride Month, and a vision came to me, and it was like it was us leading the charge for the Christian witches of the world, and things would unfold in the same type of way. And I was like, wow, man, this is absolutely amazing. And the vision it just came over me real quick, and then it kind of left. But it let me know that was another sign from, Spirit, that we're on the right track here. Like, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. There's nothing wrong with us. We are perfect in every way. Perfect, whole, and complete as we were made by the one, as a part of the one.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. We're on the last carriage of the last train, going through the most beautiful synchronistic rain, taking us all outside the brain, allowing the burning rainbow within just to flow. That's your own gold, your soul. And that's what Kaisa was saying about slavery. Everybody's been in a war between the soul or the heart and the thinking mind. And the thinking mind's just a library system for past time. It does not understand or see the beauty and harmony coming into this unified time. And unity, that's love and peace within, bliss, basically. And everything comes from the inside out. So there's no need for revision to awaken to your mission. It's all out inside you, you see. And you're the only keeper or freer of the magic inside you. Just be like Kaisa. Then you'll see everything's a synchronistic, beautiful tapestry of frequency.
Delicious.
I heard you asking me to speak. I had stepped away. My brother had some people working on the house. So I didn't know if you wanted me to speak about something specific. I missed whatever you had called me to speak about. But I just wanted to say, I just wish you would hurry up and give, Mama Ia some of your best-selling books so she can give them to Oprah so we can see you sitting under the tree on Super Soul Sunday. Can we make that happen?
All of it. All of it. All of it.
All of it. So I think the World Unity Week, I think that's just the beginning of prime time, baby. So yes, I totally agree with everything that Divine Lady Nan Herzog said, and of course Rainbow. All of us say amazingly amazing every day now. So yes, I'm complete.
Aye, but Harmony, when you were away for the mic, we all took a vote that you were going to sing something beautiful.
I don't know why y'all voted on that. Where's Kristen? I saw Kristen in the room earlier. Oh, she must have dropped off. I know y'all don't want me to sing. Oh, no, there she is, Kristen. inviting you to speak. Rainbow wants to hear a song today.
Mama Nika started it. She said I wrote a song, and then she primed us all to hear a song. It's
Yes,
like
well, she said when she finishes it, then we can hear it. She didn't say it was finished.
she was
guess
teasing us
the part
though.
that she wrote.
She was teasing us. We got ready for a song.
I have a few that I've been doing.
Okay, so while you get your song ready,
if you want to get your loving right, if you want to get your feelings right, get you a course in miracles. Get you a course in miracles.
what? You just sang a song for A Course in Miracles? We need a theme song. Come on.
We should record that, and that's how we should start off the call every morning with the song before we go into meditation.
We need a clip of that. We need a clip of that, right? Sing it again so we can clip it.
If you want to get your mind right, if you want to get your loving right, if you want to get your feelings right, get your course in miracles, get your course in miracles. Course in miracles, get your course in miracles.
Dang, I clipped it. I clipped it. Woo, baby. Oh my
I can't believe you
God.
bobbled out of that, by the way.
Oh my God. Oh, I couldn't answer because I was so busy clipping it. I clipped it. I got it.
That was beautiful, Mama Nika. Thank you, thank you. I've really been focused on creating. So I will be creating a lot more, just what I feel from the heart. And you know it, when you started singing, you know who you reminded me of? I don't know who sang it, but the girl who opened for like reading Rainbow. I don't know why, but that is your voice was making me like, oh. Yeah. Yes.
It's a beautiful gift when a soul finds their voice, basically. To inspire is literally to speak from the soul. And your frequencies were pure divinity. Thank you for sharing today.
I shared it in that. Oh, good. I was just saying I shared it in the Telegram group, the ACIM Telegram group.
Well, I didn't invite Kristen up to the stage. She might want to sing something too. I don't know.
Of course. Now, before we go further with this singing, I have to answer and give a big shout out to OT Winoko. So OT Winoko is our family in Ghana, and he was at the first ever Christian Witches Convention in Salem. He came and he recorded footage at the first ever Christian Witches Convention. He interviewed people. He's a huge media star in Ghana. He's invited us to Ghana. We're definitely going to go to Ghana. I've been saying that for years. It's time to get to Ghana. OT Winoko's daughter is in the chat today, and she says, she gave us a message today. She said, greetings from Ghana. My dad says, hi, OT Winoko. So Queen Vashti and all of those, and Coach Michelle, all of you who are at the Christian Witches Convention, the first Christian Witches Convention, y'all know OT Winoko. And he has interviewed me several times on his YouTube channel. And he is so good with the interviews. And he is just always just amazed at Christian witches. And it is just amazing. It's amazing. So to OT Winoko, I love you. Thank you so much for all you've done to share the message of Christian witches. We will be in Ghana with you, my brother. I promise you. And to Kwaku Okere Darko, am I saying your name right? Please tell me. The daughter of is this the daughter or the son of OT Winoco? Because it might be a daughter or a son. I'm not sure. It says, my dad says hi. OT Winoco is your dad. So OT Winoco's child asked, how do we become a member of the family? How do I become a part of your family? And I love that question. This is a global family. We come together every day at 7 a.m. Eastern Time for our course, A Course in Miracles. And beyond that, if you'd like to join us in our program, we have Mystery School, which is called Ascension. And you can get that at valerielove.com. Go to valerielove.com and you can join us in Ascension in the Mystery School, where we teach magic, money, and metaphysics. Then, if you really love us, you can come to an event. We have events all over the world. Come to events, and our events coming up are going to be in July. We have a big wealth day for spiritual people in July 30th. And before the July 30th event, July 20th and 29th, we have two big wealth days. I'm working with a very small group of people for them to create perpetual residual income from their creations, from their courses, from their books, from their retreats. And on Saturday, July 30th, is a big wealth day that we're doing in Washington, D.C. Quite a few people already registered for that event. And then in September, we are going to have the fall equinox in two Salems, Salem, New York, and Salem, Massachusetts. We'll be doing our ritual for the fall equinox, honoring the cycles and the seasons. And then we will be in Sedona for the winter solstice and the witches being initiated and their robing ceremonies. So you'll see the robing ceremony of our new witches. Can't see the initiation, that's private for initiates only. The robing ceremony is open, so you can see the robing ceremony. And that is going to be on the winter solstice in Sedona. Then, the end of the year, December 30th, 31st, 30th. December 30th, we will be in Mexico because the final reading of day 365, we will do together on December 31st in the room together. And we're going to have a party that night to celebrate 365 days straight of A Course in Miracles. Go to valerielove.com for all of it. valerielove.com. And of course, if you want to read the Christian Witches blog and you want to know all things Christian Witches, christianwitches.com. Okay. Who was up, Queen Vashti? Kristen?
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I am, first of all, just like in all of this lesson, when we asked earlier if anyone wanted to come to the stage, I'm like, I'm just still sitting in the oneness and talking about how we're always exactly where we need to be. Like I'm in this beautiful hotel room looking out at a lake and palm trees and trees. It's like Spirit knows exactly where to put you. You're always in the right place at the right time. Excuse me. And so Harvey invited me on stage to sing, so I'll just say this. And I'm having, getting over an experience in the body. So it may sound weird, but excuse me. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose my sway, when it seems I've lost my way, when fear and worry fall away from me, I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There
Did you?
Amazingly amazing.
Isn't it though? Did you make that song? Did you create that song?
I did not. That is from Karen Drucker. Matter of fact, it's the same lady. That's why I laugh because the song is so funny to me. Money is like a bunny. It flows to me easily and effortlessly. That's a artist that Harmony recommended. Yes. But yeah, that's one of her songs. I think it's called There's Only Love. One of these days, when I have the stuff together, I'll sing one of mine that I've written. It's coming out on the album. And Mama Nika, super, side note, I will definitely be hitting you up. I saw you put a message about tracks and beats and that nature, and would love to collaborate. And also Angela and all the singers here. Like, I think that would be something super cool to collaborate on together for an intro and outro for A Course in Miracles.
Absolutely. I told y'all I was working on a song for the Christian Witch. I'm about to shoot Miss Reverend Bell when I get done.
Come on. Christian Witches needs a theme song.
That's right.
Sharifa says, I love that
There's
song.
nothing stopping me for using the magic within you to create a beautiful track from your souls to celebrate the unity ring coming in this time. Would be amazing, just saying.
Yes, indeed. You know what I love about spiritual community? Everybody brings their gifts and it's like a big, huge potluck and we leave so full. Everyone brings their gifts.
Absolutely. And when we're outside expectation of the mind and just allow the flow to be in control, only magic comes, you see. It's dead easy, really. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy, literally.
Ashe! Latoy, you must have known I was looking for you because I looked in the audience and I was like, where's Latoy today? I didn't see her on the Clubhouse audience. And so I'm looking now on YouTube. And Latoy, I want to chat with you about, if you can't come to the stage today on Clubhouse, come to the stage tomorrow on Clubhouse. Because I saw your post on Instagram. Actually, I'm just going to let you know what it came to me when I saw your post on Instagram. It's so good. And we want it to be even better. Since you're in the mystery school, you are a part of Ascension. I love making sure all of our members have utmost success. So here is another post that you want to post, Latoy, because I saw your post. Everyone go to Latoy's post on Color the Hudson on her Instagram, and you heard us speaking about her post the other day. And you might have heard coaching earlier this week. We were on for over 5 hours on Monday doing coaching on Money Monday. Is Latoy here? Latoy is here. Yay! Come on, Latoy.
I was having trouble with Clubhouse earlier, so I stayed in YouTube.
Okay, Latoy, I want you to make this post. If you want to, it's just an offering. If you want to, make this post, make another post on your Instagram, because I saw the post that you made. It was beautiful the way you created it. Very nice, very creative. And I want you to make it even bolder, even more in your face. So put another post up that just has a big word like stressed, ? Just a big post that says stressed, ? Because that's going to raise, yes, I'm stressed. It's going to raise a question mark. Then you need what I have. And then in the caption, tell them what you told them in the other caption. You're stressed. I have the answer for that. I want you to be bolder with what you're coming for. I want you to come for next. You know, that's what we say in the hood. It was coming from my neck. I want you to come for next. Okay? Bolder in your own way. Bolder doesn't mean louder. For all those who are listening and saying, well, you're the loud one, Kaisi. That would be true. Bolder doesn't mean louder. Bolder means bolder. What are your thoughts, Latoy?
I'm thinking you're right. I guess I am doing it on the gentler side, making it just like a webinar. But I understand you have to go for the guts of it and pull it out so people can realize the pain that they're in.
Yes, when I looked at the post, I got this very gentle, if it's okay if we have public feedback here in a loving way for all of us to is it okay?
Absolutely.
I love it. I love that you love to play for all of us to grow. I thought that it was very nice and it was kind, it was nice. It was nice. Get in their face. People are stressed and they need to be unstressed and you need to stop the scroll and say, hey, you, I'm coming for your neck. Come in here. Okay. Oh my goodness. She can help me be unstressed. See, today's world is too busy. And all these platforms, if you've noticed, none of them are letting you build free anymore. None of them. Organic traffic is almost a thing of the past unless you are doing like just outstanding, stellar content and you're just pumping out the content 24/7. Stellar, outstanding, high-level content where you're just pumping it out, super niche down, super all of that. Otherwise, you're not going to get no play on Instagram or any of these platforms unless you're running ads. If you're not running ads and you're going organic, first of all, only 2 or 3 people are going to see it. Or maybe 30 or 40 or 50. And out of them, how many are going to come to the class? You've got to be bold. Come with it. That's what it looked like, asking for permission. And you don't need freaking permission because you got certifications. You're certified as Oriental medicine. You're certified as what and what? East and West? What are you certified as?
I'm a registered nurse, certified in herbal Western herbs, and I'm a doctor of Oriental medicine.
Okay, so basically, you wrote the book on Eastern and Western herbs. Get it in, tell people that. And you're a registered nurse. You used to be a nurse.
Correct. Yes.
I know you told me that a long time ago. There was something that just came back to my mind as you said it.
Yeah, pediatric.
Oh, that's right. Pediatric nurse. You need to go for them. LaToya, go for them. Get all your people because people need to hear a clarion call so they can come and find the voice in a busy world.
And she's multidimensional, the same as everybody. And a wee tip for me, folk either follow or feed their stress or flow in their own zest, basically.
Mm. Mm.
True. And I'm trying to make sure people become aware of their own independence and helping them heal themselves.
That's right. And you have the goods, and you have to let people know you have the goods. In today's world, it's not enough. I don't like to use the word enough because you're always enough and your presence is enough. It requires more. You have the goods. You have to let people know you have the goods. You have to let people know you can help them. That is the scariest part of this whole exercise because you have to be vulnerable. You have to be seen. You have to show all the way up. That is the scariest part of this whole exercise. We all can help people. We all have gifts. We all have such profound gifts that we can raise the dead. We can heal the sick. We can open the eyes of the blind, but we won't tell people we can do it. How does that work?
Yep, it's the scariest aspect, putting yourself out there and be willing to be vulnerable and to have faith and to know that God loves sustains you and just go for it. I'm complete.
Go for it. Put yourself out there. Stand up and shine. Yes, they will throw arrows at you. And guess what? You're invincible. The arrows will bounce off. I promise you.
When you are on the path, when you are on the path of destiny, you have an uncommon protection, an uncommon hedge around you. It's uncommon. The universe says, oh, we have another awakened one who is here to help the whole planet. Let's help that one. That's what the universe does. And it takes absolute care of you. You're not in this alone. Stand up and shine. Stand up. I know it's scary. Rosa, I saw that you joined this section. I was so happy. Woohoo! And Rosa, make sure that you follow the steps that we give you so you can make sure to have access to the classes and everything else. Woohoo! Is everyone with us that you're going to stand up, be seen for who you really are, be loved for who you really are, and serve this planet? You are a Jesus Christ. You're the next Buddha. We're looking for you.
I hear you.
Just stop feeding fear, and then you'll see your soul is more powerful than a spear, and everything will become clear simply by no longer tolerating old fear. Because the soul, as Kaisi said, it's like Teflon, really, and nothing sticks when you're in your soul's flow. Grace, you see. And as you allow your soul to flow, you become the exception to all the rules. Rules are made by fools, baby.
I love that.
Did he just say rules are made by fools?
Yes, he did.
Aye. Well, it's a fact, isn't it? All these rules that we live by every day take away the gold within us, you see. And now that we're in the unity time, old rules made by old fools are going to melt away like snowflakes on a summer's day.
Ooh, that explains why all my life I've been a rule breaker. All my life. I never liked rules. Never liked them.
Me neither.
And they tried so hard to get me to conform. It didn't work. They tried their best to get me to be in the cookie cutter. But every time they smashed down that cookie cutter, it would smash on a part of my arm or something. I'd be like, no, I'm not that shape. Well, what shape are you? Pick a shape because we need you to be one of these shapes on this table. Are you a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker? We need you to be one of these shapes so we can be at peace with ourselves because you're just too, I don't know, you're too different. Black sheep of the family, too out there. Yep, I'm none of them shapes on the table. I ain't got no shape. How about that? People don't know what to do with that.
And that's why you're so...
Say that again, Rainbow.
Fuck's sake, Edie. That's why you're so magically magical, you see. You didn't want to tick everybody else's boxes. So you became the person that you are today. And nobody is, the universe has never been against us. It's been there working right with us, you see. Because all these old rules made by fools were teaching us constantly. Let's just say rejection is an amazing motivator, basically, because we become the person that we choose to be and not take everybody.
Your mic closed up before I think you finished that sentence.
I don't know what I said, I was in flow, and you just can't go back in the flow, you know. But basically, it's everybody that's been believing the universe has been working against them. It's been right there inside you, you see. And the best motivator is rejection, basically, reverse psychology. You know what I mean? And it's making you all no longer, we're all saturated with trying to tick all the different boxes, and that's allowing us to become who we're here to be. And as I was saying, you know, your own zest, you don't need to go through a test to get rid of your stress. It's right there under your chest, your heart. You follow your heart, your soul will flow. You'll feel that inner glow, and you will grow. This is the premise of how the universe works. So it's a mechanism, basically, not a...
Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Rainbow done took us to
You
church.
talked about vulnerability, right? I'm a bit of a tube when it comes to this ashe. What exactly does it mean?
That's a good question. Ashe means amen, brother. You talking. You spitting right now. And spitting means you spitting truth. It means, you know, rappers say that too. Spitting, oh, they spitting. When that means you are putting down some words that is like, yes. So ashe is from Africa. And it's a term of, ashe means several things, actually. Ashe means yes, like amen, like at the end of a prayer. Ashe means divine power. Ashe means when you bring ashe, you're bringing like when ashe is in your words, like when a person speaks with ashe, they're speaking with the divine power. Ashe is the creative energy of the universe. So ashe is a lot of things. Yeah. Ugh. Phone died. Even though I had it plugged up, it didn't make it. All right, family, we are going to end the live stream now. I will see you tomorrow morning on Juneteenth and the second day of World Unity Week. I love you. ValerieLove.com. Have an incredible day. Peace. Kaisi out. Love you.